Bonjour and welcome to all you geeks, readers and collectors. And this is the end of the year special for you collectors. And I know you can be a comic book geek and you can be a comic book reader, but it's a particular, what is it? Is it an affliction? Could it be a talent? I don't know. I don't know what it is. When you need to keep buying comics, there aren't enough new ones around and you need to keep buying old ones. But it's still the best hobby ever, all right? Comic collecting, best hobby ever. Still doing it. Still not worn out yet. I've still got so many. There's still always something leads on to something. You collect a run of something and that leads on to something and you think, oh, that's a great writer, artist, character. So where do we start with this end of the year special? This is 2 weeks worth, by the way, from my favourite 2 comic book shops in the whole wide world, which I will give them, and you know I'm going to give them a shout out. Comics and Fantasy in Hornchurch, Essex. Hello, my old mate Paul. And New Dawn Comics in Rayleigh, Essex. Jamie, faithfully assisted by Lizzie. Guys, bonjour to you all. And thank you so much for everything you've done for me this year. In, well, kind of, what would the description be? You've been enabling my addiction. So thank you so much for that. Yeah. All right. You can't get higher praise than that on a comic book channel anywhere. On YouTube, anywhere else on YouTube. I've got over 100 issues here, guys, and there is some lovely, lovely stuff here. And it's such an eclectic mix, but they're the best ones I love. I mean, I did forget this pile that I got from Paul. I did forget to do that a couple of weeks back. If you follow my channel, and I've done the Batman run, the Rebirth and all that, I did pick up this run at the same time, but I forgot to do it. I kind of bagged them all up and I put them. Just look at the state of it all. I've got to sort this out over the holiday period. I must do. Anyway, so there's about 70 comics just in one run there. Modern Age DC. But I've got Silver Age DC. I have got Bronze Age Marvel. And I've got some beautiful Bronze Age Marvel there. And I've got some gorgeous Silver Age DC. I'm going to kick off with this bad boy. Look at that. Now, I didn't pick this up when it came out in the early 70s. I was just too young. But what a wonderful Friends of Old Marvel, right? A bit like geekyOlhog. I like the way it's of Old Marvel. See, that must have been subliminal in my thinking of the name, my channel, and my persona on YouTube. Anyway, this is the first issue of basically a fanzine published by a major publisher, which is what Marvel were doing. And what Marvel were doing very, very successfully in the 60s with their letters pages and their talks in colleges, and you know, when Lee and Kirby were hitting their heights and Ditko and all that, they were bringing fandom into it, so you could all connect. It wasn't just you reading the comic and you might have one mate at school that, you know, agreed with you. They were bringing fandom together, and this was part of it. An iconic FOOM was an iconic part, and this is the first issue I've ever picked up. So thank you, Jamie, for that. And it's beaten up. Listen, it's complete. but it was beaten up. And also, my favourite type of stories and characters are the cosmic Odyssey, the Thanoses and the Silver Surfers and the Galactus and FF when they're tackling them and all that, and Guardians of the Galaxy. That is my Nova. That is all of my. Not that Nova would have been around back in there anyway, but so listen, look, Captain Marvel, the proper Captain Marvel. Controversial. Normally we don't go there, but it's the end of the year. Yeah, I think I'm in the mood to say that's the proper Captain Marvel. Jim Starlin drew this cover. Proper Captain Marvel, proper Silver Surfer, and proper person in background. Proper moon, proper FOOM. Oh, I'm a poet and I just didn't know it. Anyway, from full-on Marvel fanzine. I'm going to take you back to 1960. Look at that. In a flash. Let's see what I did there. I think I enjoy myself too much doing these videos sometimes, but in a flash, we have gone from Marvel to DC, and it's not Mr. Freeze, it's Dr. Cold, or, oh, what's his name? I think he's Dr. Cold or something, but this early DC stuff, you can I know I've said it before, but you can see where Marvel overtook DC with the sadness of these stories. I love them to bits, don't get me wrong, otherwise I wouldn't be paying big bucks to buy all this stuff. But it's just great. The Adam Strange stuff, I've got to admit, this is great. Mystery in Space stuff wasn't as lame, like with the aliens and Adam Strange fighting alien hordes and all the rest of it, you know, and different things going on in the cosmos. It wasn't as bad as things like this. With Batman and, oh, come on. Come on. In 1960-61. Great Scott. Those aliens have ordered the Giant Hand to attack Robin. Oh, really? That was never going to make cover of the week, was it? Ever. And no one should be in any doubt why Marvel stole the show in this era of comics. 1960. Look, Kathy Kane Batwoman. I did post on Threads about this. And apparently Kathy Kane was the Golden Age Batwoman. So I do apologise for my ignorance, but it just struck me as funny that, oh, who's this Batwoman? But also, that is the glory, not only of collecting back issues, but the glory of Threads. And, you know, this is end of year thing. One thing I have really enjoyed is being in that online community on Threads for comics. It's great. And it's not like I've got thousands and thousands of followers and all the rest of it, but the followers that I've got, the few hundred that I've got and that we interact, and it goes from the few hundred you have to the couple of dozen that you continue to interact with, because we can all give it large, can't we, that we've got these, you know, we've got these subscribers and all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, it boils down to enjoying comics, loving it, loving back issues, loving the new stuff, but all comics, best hobby ever. Lair of the Sea Fox. We're still in the early 60s here. And we know where the Batman TV show's going, don't we? But we all loved it, didn't we? Of course we did. But that's what they were basing it on. But when you just compare it to what Marvel was doing at the same time, Detective Comics, look, The Menace of the Atomic Man. Well, I say, I bought it, so I can't. What is a little bit better and a little bit more ahead of its time is this. I've always enjoyed Spectre. 1966. Guard the Fox, Murphy Anderson. That's a bit more like a more serious proposition into my collection of back issues. So a nice little, I'm pleased with that. I know it sounds like but I'm only teasing. I wouldn't buy them otherwise. If I wasn't a comic book lover, I wouldn't buy them. But this is stuff like this. Come on. I picked these up today because this is a 2-week haul, by the way. It was last week. I couldn't, because of Christmas and all the rest of it, I couldn't do my back issue haul. So I've got 2 weeks worth here plus the pie away from Paul, which was a couple of weeks ago. But look, that's where it's at. 1972, Stan Lee, John Buscema, Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, enough said. Look at this. First appearance of Thundra. Always wondered what first issue she appeared in. Old Thundra. So Roy Thomas is on the writing now, and he's the editor as well. So we're in that early 70s period of like moving from the 60s and the Lee, Kirby, Ditko era into the new blood, and Roy Thomas was right at the forefront of it. I don't know if this was the first issue of him writing Fantastic Four, but obviously he was doing Conan, and I think he might have done Avengers and that at the time. But Roy Thomas was a force in early 70s Marvel, so it's great to get little issues like that. And the first appearance of Thundra in all of her glory. Another member of the early 70s gang was Steve Englehart, and here he is tackling Thanos, taking over from Stalin. You know, Stalin would have done his bit, and it was all kicking right off with these characters and these writers and artists. Love this period of Marvel. And John, obviously, big John Buscema on the artwork. A cheeky little Kirby. Look at Wizard. I mean, what I can't believe is how blatantly DC copied Marvel, copied the Wizard. I think that's disgusting. I really do. Like, you know, Marvel come up with an original character that can really run fast, and then DC go, oh yeah, I will do one of them, and we'll call him. Oh, we can't call him Wizard, can we? We call him like Flash. Ridiculous, really. I think Marvel should have sued them for that. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we? Floating heads aplenty, thanks to more Kirby. This is still the best era of Avengers, except for Wizard. I literally don't remember Wizard at all until I picked these up. A bit of Doctor Doom. Look at this cover with Vision coming out of that. Look, what a beautiful cover. When you think of the Avengers, right, just look at that. When you think of the Avengers, and look at Saucy Wanda there as well. And you know I love my Scarlet Witch in this era. Not now. A bit too serious now. Back then, we don't go there. This issue is the most unexpected villain. I haven't opened it up yet, so I don't know. Can't tell you any more than that. Guys, look at this. This is the first appearance of Graviton. Remember where you heard it first? 1976. First appearance of Graviton. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. We're still, this is all just classic Avengers. Look at these covers. Look, it's got it all going on. Look. And then we kind of jump ahead a bit. Yeah, we kind of jump ahead a couple of years. And now we're into that John Byrne. We're into that John Byrne era. And look at this cover. Look. I'm sure I'm doubling up on some of these issues. I'm sure that if I go back through my back issue hauls, I've already picked some of these up. I don't know. I don't know. I know it's a curse. It's Ultron. Eesh. Come on, Avengers. Oh, a bit of Hercules. You know I love a little bit of Hercules. Lethal Legion. Is this a key issue? No, of course it's not. Lethal Legion. Never heard of them. Now we're into a bit of Perez. Come on. I remember picking this up back in the day the comic book shop. And then we're back to 1979. Look, the first dark Scarlet Witch, where she's overcome with Cthulhu, or whatever the name was. Cthulhu. I can never pronounce it. Origin of Quicksilver, and Wanda. Of course I want to see that. I want to find out where Wanda come from. More Avenger, more John Byrne. We're still in the late 70s, because by now, like, we are still we're gonna swap over shortly into the 80s. You know, this is John Byrne is taking the Avengers into the 80s, but this is all great stuff. I mean, I was allowing it. I was allowing Captain Marvel. Yeah, I was kind of allowing it. Yeah, we had Ms. Marvel. I don't know why they couldn't have just kept her Ms. Marvel instead of swapping out. Anyway, we don't go there. Back issues. No, we keep it light. We keep it fluffy. We keep it to showing off loads of old comics. The Vision, and I'm sure I made a fuss of the first appearance of Taskmaster before. Taskmaster. I'm sure, I'm sure I can become the first comic book billionaire by selling this online if I've got doubles of it. What really goes on at Avengers Mansion? I don't know. Well, I will find out. Red Ronin. Now this looks like, right, this is George Perez, and like on the art duties. And this just, what does this look like? This looks like Avengers versus the Shogun Warriors, but they didn't have quite enough elasticity in the copyright to use the Shogun Warriors in another comic. And it looks like they just went, right, we'll do our own Shogun Warrior. And it only lasted 20 issues, Shogun Warriors, if you remember that. But I've still got them little bad boys. It was about the same time as Rom. Yeah, it was Rom, Shogun Warriors. You had Ms. Marvel. Anyway, it was peak Bronze Age. And there we go. That's the last issue of Avengers I've got to show you guys. And now, Bill Sienkiewicz. We leap forward to 1985. Bill Sienkiewicz. I think that's how you pronounce his name. See, I did replace my teeth. Bill Sienkiewicz. And in 1985, did his artwork not blow our mind? He'd done the Electro Assassin stuff, in the 80s. I'm not saying in specifically 1985, but it exploded out of Moon Knight. And he is still, this is the first appearance of Legion. And you can see he was having a blast with experimenting with his artwork. And the New Mutants wasn't just, not like now, where every X-Men book is just spreading out all of the characters. That's all they do. They spread all the characters out, and it's the same old thing. I'm sorry, Marvel. I'm sorry, but that's what you've done. You just spread them all out. But when they was doing the New Mutants, this was nothing like Uncanny X-Men. It was completely different. And especially when old Sienkiewicz got on board, then it went, woo! It went off the scale. Nut. And it was great stuff. Love it. And I want all these back. I did buy them back in the day. But like I say, as you know, it just bought shops, put it into the collection, put it into the shop, put my collection into the shops, and but look at this, the beautiful stuff. Still one of my favourite artists of all time. If you're going to do your top 10, and it's going to have to be a top 10, and it's sometimes when you start listing all your favourite comic artists, it's like, shit, I'm going to need top 20 here. Anyway, on to. So that is all of the odd bods. Continue my Avengers run. Oh, you're still going to take me into the new year, I think, to complete. Well, I won't even be completing the run. I'm literally just building up the Avengers run. Lovely DC stuff. Let's end it on DC, modern age DC. Come on, 2016. I've really been enjoying. And that's a beautiful cover with obviously Clayface and the whole roster. Nice action packed. I've really been enjoying Detective Comics recently, and oh, look at that cover as well. Look. And DC have, and my old mate Paul over at Comics and Fantasy, he knows what I like, and he got this run in, and he said, "You need it," and I said, "Paul, you're the man for me," and he sold them to me. Without the bags, I had to buy them separate. I'm only joking, Paul. He does me a good deal. Don't worry about that. But here we go. And I won't show. I've basically got the whole era, the whole rebirth era from issue 934 to 1000. So I will not show. I will not show every. Look at this. Look at. I mean, that's a cover. I mean, wow. And obviously, I missed all this. Even if I was collecting at the time, I would have. It was shrunk down. It was for a good few years due to different reasons. I was collecting a very, very, very narrow selection of books, and it would not have involved any DC. I'm sorry, but I'm catching up. I'm trying to learn. I mean, covers like that, classic Batman stuff. I'm into all that now. So everyone near you dies. Oh my God, who's that? Who's that telling him that everyone dies? Oh, I don't know, you DC fans. Let me know. That's this week's No Prize. Let me know. Who's the character there? Who's that? I don't know why she looks familiar, but she's kind of not. And it isn't the best. It isn't the best cover either. Look at Batman's face. Like, that's a bit of a. It's not the best cover, but the No Prize goes to, who is that? Who's that? Giving it large to Batman, and he's kind of backing off. Look, he could just snap her neck at the. He could just go, bah, and she's done. So the No Prize goes to, who's the character on that cover, and you can't Google it. I'll know if you Google it. I mean, that's a beautiful cover. Like I say, I won't show them all, but when it's beautiful art, selling. And look at all this lot. Look, just dozens and dozens. Is that Mikel Janin? I don't know. He's on. Yeah, but what I'll do, I will fast forward. I'm going to fast forward to. I mean, that's a class cover, that. Absolutely class cover. Hellbat and Hellfire. Wow. And I haven't checked out some of these covers actually. I hadn't seen this one. The Doomed Child, Detective Comics issue 999. Wow. I mean, if that isn't going to make you buy a Batman comic, I don't know what. Beautiful stuff. But the landmark issue, as they put on the cover, issue 1000, goes to Jim Lee, and just the celebration. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all about that. So that is my back issue haul to end the year, guys. And thank you. If you have followed me this far, let me know who's going to win the No Prize with that character from the cover of Detective Comics. Thank you so much if you have followed me this far. Thank you to my sexy subscribers and all of you that are commenting and getting involved. And let's chat, we talk, we take the piss out of each other. I love it. We roast each other. You like this, you like that. That is what fandom has done for all eternity. And if we can all just calm down a bit and just take, no one's life is at stake. We're only talking comics. So let's give each other a jab. You like that character, I like this character. No, that's crap. It's only comics, and I love it. Best hobby ever. And I will see you all. I might do one. I'm going to do a new comic book day video. But if you're only here for back issues, I will join you on the other side. And obviously, I'm going to buy more back issues next year, aren't I? Of course I am. And I hope you've enjoyed that thus far. And I hope you have a very, very happy new year. And I will see you on the other side. And I will bid you all adios.